Return to Castle Wolfenstein is the best game in the Wolfenstein series. Let's play through the whole game. One quick note, this video will cover the PC version of the game. I'm aware that the console versions added some prologue missions, and they're awesome, but I will not be discussing them in this video. So let's not waste any time and get right into it. The opening cutscene takes place in the year 943 when a German warlord is sealed away in an enchanted prison. Fast forward 1,000 years to 1943 and the Germans locate his tomb. The pre-rendered cutscene is awesome and it gets me hyped, but the first in-game cutscene is less exciting. You don't want to sit here and listen to these suits talk, so I'll sum it up. You are B.J. Blazkowicz, an agent working for the OSA during World War II on a top-secret mission to take down several members of the German military leadership, but you've been captured and are being held in Castle Wolfenstein. The guard comes to take you from your cell, you jump him, and the game begins. Right away, the atmosphere is striking and pretty creepy, with cobwebs and skeletons littering the dimly lit castle dungeon. I sneak up on the scientist who tortured my buddy to death and deal out some quick justice with my knife. After taking care of the guards in the next room, I pick up one of the most satisfying machine guns ever made in a video game, the MP40. Although it gets outclassed by other weapons later on, this gun can easily get you through the first several levels of the game by itself. Pro tip, if you crouch while firing, the bullet spread becomes almost non-existent. Even machine guns become lasers. The first mission, Ominous Rumors, is about escaping the castle. The first level teaches you the basics and gets you acquainted with a few weapons, including the pistol, MP40, and the Mauser rifle, great for dealing with targets at a distance. Near the end, enemies shoot out the floor from under you, demonstrating some environmental destructibility that was mind-blowing back in 2001. There are tons of secrets scattered around the levels in this game too, often containing weapon stashes or treasure items just like the original Wolfenstein game. When I reach the end of a level, this screen shows how many secret areas I found. On to the second level, the Keep. It's much bigger than the first one, and includes some backtracking later on that can be a little confusing if it's your first time, but this level is just so fun. At the beginning, if you don't immediately fire on the Germans, you can hear a bit of extra dialogue.
So what's going on here?
Where is everyone? Half the castle guard is missing.
That's because the Major just doubled the guard on the dig site.
Again.
This happens pretty frequently throughout the game, rewarding players who take a more stealthy approach to encounters. Eventually, the alarm is raised and all hell breaks loose. Whenever an alarm is sounded, you can find the alarm box and deactivate it or destroy it. I always found this so satisfying because the alarm sound is so annoying. It's worthwhile to pay attention to the environment in this game. There's this wine cellar that has a hidden switch in the wall that opens this secret room where you can grab a bottle of 1934 Latour. Wine bottles are essentially portable health packs that you can use whenever. Very useful. You can also use objects like explosive barrels to blow up your enemies into little jibs. Awesome. Keep an eye out because there are many opportunities like this in this game, and the barrel's explosions sometimes tear holes in the walls leading to secret rooms. Making my way outside in this little courtyard, I use a mounted machine gun to tear apart the guards crossing the bridge, showcasing the destructible environments again. Those guards on the bridge open the way to the level exit, so it's on to the third level, Escape. First, I head downstairs to activate the tram, which arrives at the station filled with a load of corpses because I sniped them on the way up. My beautiful tram ride through the fog is interrupted by these inconsiderate jerks, so I treat the problem with several doses of Mauser rifle fire. I see this guy climb down to the area with the power switch, so I drop some party favors down with him. Before we get in the tram, can we just appreciate how cozy this little office is? Riding to the final station, I dispatch the enemies, climb into this vent, and enter the next area where, after eliminating some more guards, I meet our contact inside the German resistance. We've successfully escaped Castle Wolfenstein, and we're on to the second mission. Mission 2, Dark Secret, starts in Kessler's house, where he gives us a Thompson and some ammo. Kind man. I leave through a hidden entrance and make my way to the crypt where our first target, Helga von Bülow, is located. Along the way, we meet another member of the German resistance who gives us one of the best weapons in the game, the Silenced Sten. It's a more powerful version of the MP40 that uses the same ammo and is silenced so that you can stealth more effectively. The only drawback is that it overheats, but if you manage this red bar effectively, it outclasses many weapons in this game. Fighting my way through the village and into this wine cellar, I overhear this conversation between a couple German officers.
Yeah, but this was for our own men we sealed in with those things.
Fighting my way through the village graveyard, I find this mausoleum. Behind it is some dynamite, so I light the fuse, blow open the sealed entrance, and I enter the catacombs. This game could have just been another World War II game with killing German soldiers, but this is where it becomes something else.
It's like a slaughterhouse in here.
I know, these things are everywhere.
What are they? Where did they all come from?
Don't ask me. No one ever tells me anything.
My God! Did you hear that?
Yeah, and I wish I hadn't. We have to get out of here. Follow me back to the entrance.
What? The ladder! It's destroyed!
They've sealed us in here.
Get ready. They're coming!
Heading down to the trapped Germans, we see the threat they're facing for the first time. There are two types of zombies down here, the ancient warriors that wield swords, axes, and shields, and regular zombies that attack with swipes or by summoning these floating skulls. While the regular zombies are easier to deal with, you have to be sure to destroy their bodies because they'll rise again if you don't. Deep in the catacombs, I discover the journal of a Dr. Zempf, who describes a search for something called the Dark Knight and the Dagger of Warding. In this room, I'm ambushed by some zombie warriors, but near the end of the level, I see a zombie crawling out of a fire pit, and since I've played this game before, I decided to nope out of that situation, using my last stick of dynamite to blow the zombie into bits. The next level, the Crypt, is very similar to the catacombs, but everything is ramped up. The German soldiers clearly have bitten off more than they can chew with this whole situation, and are being overwhelmed by the dark forces they unleashed. Up ahead, we can see why I destroyed that fire zombie as soon as I could, as these soldiers are burned alive by another one. Not wanting to become a Kentucky Fried spy, I snipe the fire zombie from a distance until he shatters. Descending deeper into the crypt, I'm ambushed by zombies literally crawling out of the ground. In the next room, there are 3 trapped levers that I have to pull to progress. The first is behind a pit of spikes, and the walls try to crush you as soon as you pull it. The second is behind this swinging board with spikes, and the third is at the end of this seemingly empty hall with pressure pads on the floor that, when pushed, activate this saw mechanism. After pulling all the levers, I ride the central column up to the second floor where I enter this room. Yeah, this treasure item is definitely not an Indiana Jones-style trap. Oh, great. After dealing with these zombie warriors and avoiding the fire traps, the ground shakes and I jump through a crack into the next level. The Defiled Church is one of the most difficult levels in the first act of the game. At the beginning, we see Helga von Bülow and Dr. Zempf, our targets for this mission. Our mission logbook says that we have to defeat all of Helga's elite guards, so let's talk about them. Fast, agile, black leather clad, and wielding silent stens, these are the most challenging enemies in this part of the game. They wait silently around corners in an attempt to ambush the player, and if you're caught in the open, you might as well reload the last save. In the first area, I find this group of soldiers standing around the torn remains of one of their comrades. An elite guard enters and berates them before they all meet their end. Moving through this creepy church, I eliminate as many of Helga's guards as I can. This giant room is one of the hardest parts of the level, but if you use the cover effectively and don't run out into the open, it's not too bad. After some more intense combat, I enter the final room of the level, absolutely brimming with elite guards. This is the hardest part of the level, so I just stay back and let them come to me. After whittling them down enough, I finally pass through to the church exit. Time to eliminate Helga and Dr. Zempf.
Your feeble threats won't stop me.
Please come to your senses! Stop this madness before it is too late!
This is your last warning!
No, you can't!
Well, I guess my mission's complete, but now we have a new problem. When Helga grabbed the Dagger of Warding, she unleashed the spirit of Alaric, this monstrous flesh golem that awakens more zombies and sends out these annoying ghosts that blind you if they touch you. You're meant to complete this fight by using the pillars as cover, but thanks to an oversight by the devs, I just run back into the entrance room with the ammo and health supply whenever the fight gets tough. After several rounds of firing and hiding and firing and hiding, Alaric finally falls to his knees, screams, and explodes. Securing the Dagger of Warding, I get picked up, finally earning some rest before my next mission. Mission 3, Weapons of Vengeance, opens with another meeting of the suits back at headquarters. This is one of my favorite missions in the game, but sadly the first level Forest Compound is not a particularly great opening. This is a forced stealth mission, where if the enemy activates an alarm, the mission automatically fails. Parachuting into the forest with nothing but a knife and a silenced sten, it's time to get to work. Other weapons are dropped by parachute as well, including some Colt 45s that we won't be using because they're not silenced. The one weapon that you do need to find is the OSA Snooper Rifle. It has a night vision scope, is silenced, and is a one-hit kill on most enemies. Really useful for taking out snipers in the guard towers. I sneak around the side of the main compound and climb up these planks into this open window. I knife the guard here in the back and proceed to the next building. The level ends when I make it into the back of this truck. Come on, BJ, you can do better than that. At least duck down or something, jeez. The next level, Rocket Base, is literally a blast. I fight my way through several guards and scientists to reach the control panel. How to destroy the V2 rocket. If only there was some obvious clue in the environment to show me... Oh, yeah, that'll do it. If this was a modern game, there would have been a giant glowing waypoint here and some obnoxious text telling me how to press F to win. After the rocket explodes, several security teams armed to the teeth try to prevent your escape. I gun them down and escape through the vent, onto the radar installation. Crawling out of the vent, immediately we see our handiwork from the previous level. This mission's objective is to locate and destroy the radar facility. After crossing the first bridge, I can see a gun turret set up. Time to make some German mincemeat. See this guy hiding around the corner like a camping bastard? He's carrying one of the most powerful weapons in the game, the Panzerfaust. Grabbing it, I move on to the radar facility. I throw some dynamite into this room, watch the radar dish crumble, and it's on to the next mission. Airbase Assault is one of my favorite levels in the entire game. Our objective here is to steal the secret Cobra rocket plane. After infiltrating the first building and stocking up on ammo, I explore the surrounding hangars, grabbing ammo and treasure and sniping German squads as they arrive. Moving on to this tower, I lower the gate that leads to the main base. I find this cowering German that tells me how to release the plane. It's a 3-step process, so I start fueling the jet, then head outside to climb up to the top floor. Here we see the German paratroopers for the first time. I just love their introduction. The epic music, the sun setting in the background while they drop in to ruin my day. This is how you introduce a new enemy. The paratroopers are much tankier than normal soldiers and carry deadlier weapons, including the FG-42 paratroop rifle, one of my absolute favorites in the game. I take out as many paratroopers from above as I can, then I climb to the top to complete the final step of prepping the Cobra plane. We exit the level and complete the mission in style, flying the jet off into the sunset. I love these past several missions because they feel grounded in real World War II spy action. You'd be mistaken for believing that the crazy sci-fi stuff was behind us. Oh, you sweet summer child. Mission 4, Deadly Designs, begins with another cutscene with the suits. This time we find out that Deathshead, the leader of the German science team, is working on advanced weaponry at a secret facility. Our job is to track down Deathshead and kill him. We begin at the town of Kugelstadt, escorting a tank through the ruined city to find the location of the secret weapons facility. There's this annoying sniper in this tower, and I love how the tank just destroys the whole building. Awesome. Next, I locate a German scientist who wants to defect, but he's under fire from the enemy. I go to rescue him, encountering another new weapon along the way, the flamethrower. This weapon is so brutal in this game. Just check out what happens when you set enemies on fire. Rushing back to the tank before it's destroyed, we're ambushed by Panzerfausts. After saving the tank one last time, he blows a hole into the building ahead, leading to the level exit. The bombed factory is a pretty forgettable level. I navigate through the rubble of these crumbling buildings in a pretty short sewer section, dodging machine gun nests and dealing with several heavy enemies like the flamethrower troops and paratroopers with Panzerfausts. There's this pretty funny moment where a couple of Germans are trying to defuse an unexploded bomb.
I told you, just clip the red wire. Or was it the blue one? Hold on while I go get the manual. Never mind, they all look great to me anyway.
Aside from just reaching the level exit, you also have to find this book containing the designs for the Venom gun. A nice little teaser of what's to come. The train yards is where things get interesting again. Finally, we've located the secret weapons facility. It's just below this building along the railroad tracks. Eliminating the paratroopers and scientists inside, I locate the elevator to the next level. The secret weapons facility is another of my favorite levels in the game. It begins with Deathshead explaining that he's leaving for a place called the X-Labs. Before we can chase him, we have to find out what the Germans are up to in this weapons facility. Exiting the elevator, I find this secret weapons stash, accessible via explosive excavation. Progressing a bit further, we get our first taste of some of the most horrific stuff in this game. I don't know which of the devs came up with these monstrosities called lopers, but these things are seriously nightmare-inducing. Fast and agile, they jump at you and run on their hands. Not to mention their electric attacks do a ton of damage and have ridiculous range. They can even hit you through the floor. These are the most annoying enemy in the game. Thankfully, they're pretty rare. I watched this poor bastard try to take one out before it burst through the freaking wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah!
I use my Thompson ammo to quickly dispatch him, and am rewarded with the Venom gun. This beast of a weapon is essentially a portable wall of bullets. It fires at a ridiculous rate and is one of the best weapons for dealing with the tankier late-game enemies. After dispatching a couple more lopers, I see one more in a cage. Okay, why not? Hosing him with bullets, I accidentally break a hole in the wall behind him, revealing another secret ammo stash. Awesome. After taking a rocket to the face and narrowly avoiding death, I proceed through the base to the submarine station just in time to see Deathshead escape on the sub. We have to follow him, so I make my way to this room where I use my expert interrogation skills to extract the location of the X-Labs from this guard. We're done with Mission 4. Mission 5, Deathshead's Playground, is a short but wild ride through some of the most intense encounters in the game. We follow Deathshead to Norway, and the first level involves breaching the X-Labs from the outside. The fog is thick and the ground is layered with ice and snow. I love this winter atmosphere, it's so cozy. You know, I think these soldiers deserve a break. Let's warm them up. Now we're facing soldiers wielding venom guns. Best to take them out from a distance before they can shower me with lead. The door to the X-Labs is sealed, so I get creative and blow up these canisters to make a hole in the wall. On to the next level. The X-Labs is one of the most memorable levels in the game for me. The mission briefing tells us that the labs are filled with X-creatures, and in the intro cutscene we see Deathshead working on something. I walk through the halls, paratroop rifle and silenced Sten in hand, annihilating scientists until I enter this room. I see this guy cowering in the corner, so I peek around. Yep, that'll do it. This calls for the venom gun. Entering this room, I hear an alarm blaring, and I look down to see that we have a major problem. The Lopers make short work of the scientists, and I manage to take a couple of them out before one escapes. Walking down this hall, we get a jump scare. Let's meet our newest enemy, the Super Soldier. These guys are the tankiest enemies in the game, slow-moving but wielding venom guns or Panzerfausts. They require your full attention. Wow, that was a close call. There's a swimming section later in the level where you can find this secret room. It's worth it to come here just to see the sci-fi food chain in action. At the end of the level, the game throws 2 super soldiers at you at the same time, and one of them holds a Panzerfaust. Now that's just cruel. After taking them out, I move on to the final level of this mission. Level 3, Super Soldier, is the boss fight of this mission. It starts with a bang. Immediately I dispatch a super soldier with the old 1-2 punch of Panzerfaust and Venom. After grabbing a suspicious amount of health, I deep fry some regular soldiers, take out a flamethrower soldier, and rocket duel super soldier with a Panzerfaust. Nearby we can see the future super soldiers floating in vats. Creepy. Entering this room, Deathshead introduces me to the Uber Soldat, the boss of this mission. He wields a rocket launcher and a Tesla cannon that can reach me across the entire arena. While fighting him, these annoying scientists come in and try to ruin my day, but I'm not having it. I play a ring around the rosy with the boss for a while, taking pot shots with rockets and the venom gun until he finally falls. Now we get the Tesla gun, one of my favorite weapons in the whole game. Let's test it out on some scientists. Oh yeah, that's good game design. Reward me with a power weapon and let me unleash it immediately. Good stuff. Chasing Deathshead outside, we're too late. He blasts off in a rocket, the only target of ours that escapes to cause more problems in later games. Mission 6, Return Engagement, begins with one final meeting of the suits. We discover that they're trying to reincarnate that 1,000-year-old German warlord from the beginning of the game, so we gotta return to Castle Wolfenstein to stop them. The journey begins at Bramberg Dam, parachuting in under cover of night. Although the opening is pretty cool, this level doesn't really do anything that we haven't seen. I fight my way across the dam, making it to the woods leading to the next level. Paderborn Village is another forced stealth mission, but this one I actually really like. In this mission, you have a hit list of German officers that can be taken out in any order. Instead of the open green fields of the forest compound, here we have lots of cover and several side passages that allow you to get the drop on the enemy. After taking out all of the officers, I head to the village church to end the level. Chateau Schuffstaffel is an awesome level where you get to unleash your arsenal on tons of paratroopers, and the elite guards even return here. There are these grand halls decorated beautifully, and even the secrets are really fun to find, like this switch that opens a secret staircase. It's an indoor environment for most of the level, but there's plenty of room to move around, and it makes for some fun encounters. There's this one bit I really like where you're on the roof and you have a choice of how to get the drop on the soldiers below. It really feels like a Mission Impossible style action movie, and I love it. Unhallowed Ground is honestly one of my least favorite levels in the game. A real shame after the high of the previous mission. The main thing that's annoying about this level is the environment. The fog obscures everything, there's very little cover, and the devs even put snipers in the trees. Enemies hide around corners, and if it weren't for the snooper rifle's night vision, I'd have died so many more times in this level. The saving grace of this level is the ending, where you get to fight several super soldiers. I like this part because it gives me an opportunity to use the Tesla gun to full effect. Whether you use the Tesla gun or play peekaboo with the rocket launcher, the ending isn't that tough, and we finish the level by dropping into this hole. Mission 7, Operation Resurrection, is the final mission of the game, and it's the most challenging. The first level, the Dig, is dark, cramped, and absolutely filled with super soldiers and flamethrower troops. I really dislike this level. It feels so uninspired after some of the really cool environments we've seen throughout the game, and some of these encounters are just so frustrating. This ladder is by far the worst. You're basically guaranteed to take a ton of damage here thanks to the venom gun toting super soldier, and there's barely any health laying around too. On to the next level. Part 2, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, is the penultimate level, and man do they really throw everything at you. The zombies from Mission 2 are back, but with a lot more health. It makes sense, our arsenal has gotten significantly more powerful since we last fought them, and it would be too easy otherwise. I started this level with such low health because of the last level, so I play it very safe here, using cover and taking them out one at a time. After fighting my way out of the basement dungeons filled with zombies, I now have to deal with annoying squads of paratroopers and elite guards. This room in particular always kills me the first time no matter what. Eventually, I eliminate all of them, open these large doors, and proceed to the final level. Part 3, Heinrich, is another boss fight level, of course. The level opens with this cutscene where we see the ancient German warlord get resurrected and immediately use his magic powers to turn this lady into a zombie. I stock up on ammo for every weapon I've got. Time to finish this. Yeah, get some. Eat these bullets. Take this laser. Yeah, you can resurrect whoever you want. It won't help. Die! And that's why you don't bring a sword to a gunfight. Heinrich is defeated, the German war plan lies in ruins, and we won the game. I wonder what BJ will do now. Here are my rankings for all the missions in this game. 7th place is Mission 7, Operation Resurrection. The dig is one of the most annoying levels in the game, and the boss fight at the end is kind of underwhelming, to be honest. The castle level is cool, but that's the only part of this mission that I really like. 7th place is Mission 6, Return Engagement. Unhallowed Ground is my least favorite level in the game, and Brandenburg Dam is just forgettable. I do enjoy Paderborn Village and Chateau Schuffstaffel, so that makes this mission rank higher. 5th place is Mission 4, Deadly Designs. I've never been fond of the first 2 levels. They blend together and it feels like it goes on for too long. The train yard is a challenging but fun level, and the secret weapons facility is a blast. In 4th place is Mission 5, Deathshead's Playground. I love the atmosphere in the first level. It's such a nice change of pace, and infiltrating the lab is really fun. The X-Labs are such a memorable part of the game, and the boss fight is the best in the game. The only reason this mission isn't ranked higher is because of how short it is, but I'm glad that the Lopers and Super Soldiers don't overstay their welcome here. In 3rd place is Mission 2, Dark Secret. This is the first time the game goes off the rails and introduces monsters for the player to fight. Although the catacombs and crypt levels have an excellent creepy aesthetic that matches the gameplay perfectly, I'm usually looking forward to finishing those levels to make it to the church. The challenge of taking down the elite guards and the boss fight at the end are a fantastic end to the first act of the game. In 2nd place is Mission 3, Weapons of Vengeance. Although Forest Compound is a terrible opening to this mission, I absolutely love the rest of the levels here. The rocket base, radar installation, and air base are such fun environments to explore and so different from each other. These levels have the best combat against normal soldiers, and if it weren't for the opening level, this mission would be my favorite. And in 1st place is Mission 1, Ominous Rumors. The escape from Castle Wolfenstein is such a well-crafted experience. Although our arsenal is very limited, it feels so dynamic because of the fantastic level design and the enemy placement. I love this first mission, and I've replayed it so many times. Despite the lackluster final few levels, Return to Castle Wolfenstein is my favorite game in the series and one of my favorite first-person shooters ever made. The blending of sci-fi and fantasy makes for unique gameplay and varied level design from mission to mission. If you haven't played it before, you absolutely should. It's available on Steam for $5, and for the best Wolfenstein game, that's a hell of a bargain. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out for now.